A very good morning everyone. In our previous video we have started the concept of inheritance and we have referred the theory regarding the inheritance. We have already seen 5 different types of inheritance and we have already seen the definitions regarding the different types of inheritance. So one by one we are going to perform the practicals on such. Let us start with the single inheritance. That is the first type of inheritance which we have seen in the theoretical session, right? So we will start with the single level inheritance available in the C++. In single level inheritance, when there is one base class and one derived class, such type of inheritance is known as single inheritance. So in our this unit, that means regarding the inheritance, we are going to refer two different types of program which is based on the different 5 types, that is single, multi level, then hierarchical, multiple and hybrid. So what we are going to do, I am going to create class base and derived. So this is the first program in all the 5 types, and the second program is of class person and student. So this both are the examples which we are going to refer it using single, multi-level, hierarchical, multiple and hybrid. So each type contains 2 type of program which is based on the base class and derived class, which represents person and student. So this is the general information I want to give you regarding the inheritance. Now let us begin with the practical session of inheritance. I am going to refer that inheritance is the most IMP concept as far as the practical exam is concerned. Now let us start with the example of single inheritance. In single inheritance has include iostream.h, has include conio.h. We are going to create class base, as I have told you that first of all we are going to see the base and derived. Base class contains one variable a and it also contains their own constructor, right? So inside base, see, now you need to refer the previous videos for the concept. I will not tell why I have written the constructor over here. This is default constructor which will automatically call when the object of class is created. These all things must be clear, because lots of time we have performed practicals based on the constructor, right? So now I will not explain it in detail. Now I am going to create another class which is called derived. Now for inheritance, colon is used. We have referred this in our previous video. Then access specifier, I am going to use public because I want to access all the properties of base class. Now inside derived class, put public keyword, integer b. Derived class has its own constructor also, b equals to 20. We are going to put void display. Don't worry, I will explain the given code. These programs are very easy and interesting also. Value of a is a, cout \n. Value of b is b. Now it's time to develop the structure of void main. Need to include two functions get ch and clr scr. Now see what happens over here. First of all, derive d dot display. Need to create object of base class b. Let me save the program first, then I will explain the program, inheritance program. So I1 dot C++. Now what will be the output of this program and how the program is executed? Let me explain that code. First of all, we create object of base class. So when you create object of base class, it will automatically call the default constructor of base class. So over here we have created base class, and inside base we have initialized the value of a by 10. That is okay, good. Then what happens? We have created object of derived class. So it will call the default constructor of derived class, and with the help of default constructor you are able to initialize the value of b by 20. So using these two lines, a becomes 10 and b becomes 20. Now remember one thing, that display is a property of derived class. That means with the help of derived class object, I am able to access the method of derived class. So it's okay if I will do d dot display. Why? Because d is a object of derived class and display is a method which is related with the derived class, right? So when you are going to run this program, at that time you will get output value of a is 10 and b is 20. So this is okay. Now focus over here. I am going to apply certain changes, right? This is okay. Now what happens if I am going to use b dot display? I am going to repeat my question. D dot display will print 10 and 20 on the screen. That is okay, right? Now see, my question is, see, a is not defined in this particular block. Why? Because a is a property of base class. Even though display function uses a, because we have allowed to access that property using inheritance, right? We have put a public keyword over here. We allow the property to access base class. That's why over here we are able to access variable a. That is the first reason, right? Now my question is, suppose if I am going to use b dot display, at that time just think that what will be the output. See, this line will not print any output. It will generate error because display is a property of derived class or child class, and in the facts portion of slide, right, we have referred that parent class cannot access property of child class. So always remember one thing, that display is a function which are the part of derived or child class. So you cannot use the with the help of object of base class, because this is a father class. Father always gives to the child, right? The father never asks money or anything in return, right? So this will generate error. You cannot call display function using the object of base class. I hope this thing is cleared. One more thing I want to show you, that suppose if I am going to put comment line over here, that means this program contains only these two lines. I have created object of derived class and I have called the display method with the help of derived class. Then what will be the output? In such cases, what happens, remember, now focus over here, this is very much important, right? Derived class D, that is the object of derived class, so it will call the default constructor of derived class. But remember one thing, that when you have used concept of inheritance and your base class also contains constructor, right? So first of all, it will not call default constructor of derived class, but first of all it will call the default constructor of base class, then it will call default constructor of derived class, and then display function is called. So it's okay if you do not create object of base class, because it will automatically, see this line no need to write. Why? Because it will automatically call default constructor. See, I am going to dry run, you just need to focus on the cursor. See, over here we have created object of derived class, so it will go inside the derived class, but over here see my focus, see, it will go inside the base class first, initialize the value of a by 10, then derived class value is initialized, and then it will call display function. So remember one thing, that when you create the object of derived class and both the class contains default constructor, at that time base class default constructor is automatically executed, because you have used the concept of inheritance over here. Is that okay to everyone? I hope the concept is clear properly. Now new class I am going to create, which is based on the single level inheritance. As I have told you that we are going to perform each program using base and derived as well as person and student. So example of single inheritance, we are going to include 3 header files over here. iostream.h has include ponyo.h and has include string.h, because I need to use the functions which are related with the string.h. Now create class person, which contains public variable character name of 25. I want to store the name inside the nm variable, which is the part of person class. Create constructor person, strcpy nm, inside nm we are going to place Radha or Rahul or any name you want to store. Then class student, that is the name of derived class, then colon, then public keyword, and then name of base class. In our case, what is the name of base class? That is class person. So over here I have make it public. Now what we need to do? We need to take integer roll number and total, right? And inside student constructor we are going to initialize RNO by 1 and total by 75, say for example. Now we are going to create display function inside student class, going to print the value of person class, name is nm variable, which is, remember one thing, nm is a part of person class, but over here we have used the concept of inheritance, so it allows you to use nm over here, otherwise it will generate error. \n, roll number is RNO, and cout \n, total is total. If you want to print roll number first, then you can cut this line and put it over here. Now what happens? In the void main, what portion we need to write? See, this is important program, huh? So be clear. CLR and get ch. Now we are going to create the object of derived class. What is the name of derived class? Student. So over here, student s and s dot display. See, if I want to use person p, then also it's okay, but no requirement to use it, because it will automatically call the default constructor of person class, which is referred as a base class. Let me save the program first, then we will see the output. Name is Radha, roll number is 1, and total is 75. Now see how the program is executed. We have created the object of student class. So first of all, it will go inside the student class, but over here we have used the concept of inheritance. So it will call the base class constructor first, and it will initialize name by Radha. After that, it will initialize the value of RNO by 1 and total by 75. Then we have called display method of the derived class, right, with the help of student object. So this is the example of single inheritance. So this is the first type of inheritance we have referred. Now another type of inheritance is called multi-level inheritance, right? So let us consider the example of multi-level inheritance. Need to include two header file, iostream.h and has include conio.h. We are going to create class base. Inside class base, public keyword integer a, base class constructor a equals to 10. Similarly, class I base. See over here, what is the multi-level inheritance? Grandfather, father and child relationship is there, or base, I base and derived relationship is there. So in the I base, now see what is the hierarchy? Base, out of base we are going to create I base, and out of I base we are going to derive, right? So now what happens? That over here, which class is inherited? Public base, because with the help of base we are going to create I base. So I base contains inherited of base class. Now public integer b, I base b equals to 20. Now see, third class I am going to define, that is derived. But over here, after public, which class we are going to inherit? I base. Remember one thing, I am going to repeat it again. When you want to perform multi-level inheritance, at that time first create base class, then I base class inherits property of base class, and when you are going to create derived class, at that time you need to write I base over here. So public base, public I base. So in this way it allows you to create multi-level inheritance. When first of all create base class and create constructor of base, then create I base class, make the base public, allows the facility to use the property of base class which can be accessed by I base class, and again when you are going to create derived class, at that time make the public I base. Now what happens, see, derived contains its own property like integer c, and you are going to derive the constructor and initialize the value of c by 30, and we are going to create display method. Now see, display function are able to access all the three properties of base, I base and derived, as we have already referred in the slide that derived class contains three property, their own property, property of I base class and property of base class. So over here we are able to access the variable a, b and c. So value of a is a, cout backslash n, value of b is b, cout, value of c is n variable c. So a is the property of base class, b is the property of intermediate base class, and c is the property of derived class. But over here we have used the concept of multi-level inheritance, and multi-level inheritance can be presented using public base and public I base. Now what happens, what code we need to write in the void main? See, if concept is cleared, at that time you can write the structure of void main. You just need to create object of derived class and need to call display function using d.display. Let me save the program first and then we will see the output. The value of a is 10, the value of b is 20 and the value of c is 30. And let us dry run also so that you can understand that the cursor situation would be what in different cases. It will start with the void main, will clear screen. When you create object of derived class, at that time it will go in the derived class constructor, but before initializing the value of derived class variable, it will go into the IBase class. Again, IBase also contains base class. So again the value of b is not initialized, but the value of base class is executed. Now first of all it initializes the value of base class, then value of intermediate base class, then value of derived class, and at last we are going to display all the three values which has been initialized by the different constructor. So this is called multi-level inheritance. When you are going to eat something at your home, right? At that time suppose your grandfather is there, right? So what generally happens, first of all we offer him to eat the food, then we are going to start. So first of all the whatever the code the grandfather class has, that is going to be executed, then whatever the code which is there for the father class, that is executed, and at last the code of child class is executed. So in this way, multi-level inheritance is executed. The last program of today's session, which we are going to perform with the person and student, right? So let me take one new file. Example of multi-level inheritance has include iostream.h, has include ponyo.h, has include string.h. We are going to create class person, use public keyword, integer number. I am going to define number in the person, character nm of 25, person. Inside person constructor, we are going to initialize the value of number by 1 and going to apply strcpy nm and name by Radha. Now one more class we are going to create, that is class student. Again we are going to make public person. This thing we have already done in the single inheritance, right? So in the public portion, integer total, you can take number variable over here also, but right now number is a part of person class. Now total, let us create the constructor of student class. We are going to initialize the value of total variable using the default constructor. Now we are going to create one class called fees. Now over here, remember one thing, that student inherits person, but when you are going to create fees class, at that time it inherits student class, because we are going to use multi-level inheritance which represents floor, right? You need to keep the example of floor. So when you are going to create the person class, at that time it becomes base class. When you are going to create student class, it inherits person class, and again when you are going to create fees class, at that time it inherits student class. In this way, multi-level inheritance is executed. Again we are going to make it public, integer amount and integer receipt number. Whatever variables which are related with the fees class, you can put it. Right now I have taken two variables, one is called amount and other one is called receipt number. Receipt number equals to 50 and amount equals to 7,500. So remember one thing, that total is a property of student class, name and number is a property of person class, receipt number and amount is a property of fees class. Now fees class also contains display function. We are going to display all the 5 variables inside display, and over here you are able to see that fees are able to access the property of student as well as property of person class. So number is no cout, name is nm cout \n, total is total cout, receipt number is receipt number. Write the spelling of variables properly. You are going to make mistake while you are writing spellings, right? So make and write it properly. Amount is amount. So display function are able to access the property of base class, property of intermediate base class, and property of its own, or we can say property of grandfather class, property of father class, and property of its own. Now with the help of object of fees class, we are able to access all the three constructors of different classes, and we are able to call the display method. So void main CLR SCR and get ch, going to create object of fees class f and f dot display. Let us save the program first. Inheritance 4.c++. Number is 1, name is Radha, total is 75, receipt number is 50, and amount is 7,500. So in this way inheritance is executed. Always remember one thing, that you are able to access the property of you are able to access the property of parent class if you have used the concept of inheritance. I hope the concept is clear. You just need to understand the type of inheritance. In our today's session we have completed two inheritance. First is called single inheritance and multi-level inheritance. In our next session we are going to take two different examples based on the hierarchical as well as two examples based on the multiple inheritance. Now let me share the notepad file for the first program of our today's session, which represents single inheritance. Write these programs properly into your journal, because this is the important programs based on the practical aspect. Let me scroll down. The programs are little bit lengthier, but it is very much easy to understand. No need to mug up, you just need to understand. Let me scroll down up to derived. When you perform b.display will generate error, and if you do not create object of base class, even though you are able to access the default constructor of base class. So this is the first program. The second program related with the inheritance, you just need to include one file string.h, because we are going to use the function strcpy. Now let me scroll down up to student. So this thing you need to write in the journal. Now I am going to scroll down to give you the definitions regarding the single level inheritance. Suppose you want to perform more programs based on the single level inheritance, so you can write it. These definitions you need to write in the rough book first. So these three are the definitions of program which you need to perform with the single level inheritance. First of all, create base class person, put two variables name and city, create new class called employee which contains this much variable, and create display function to display all the values. Similarly, create class book which contains two variable, create class book price which contains single variable, and also create display method to display all the values. Again, create student class which contains roll number and name, create mark class which contains M1, M2, total and percentage. Also put display function inside mark class This all the definitions you need to perform using single inheritance. Let me share the notepad file for the multi-level inheritance. Base class, intermediate base class. Do refer over here public base you need to write. Let me scroll down up till this. In this you need to write intermediate base class, I base. Over here base, over here I base. Let me scroll down the program up till base I base class. You need to write display function in the derived class and write the output of program properly. I am going to share the notepad file of fourth program, which represents the concept of multi-level inheritance. Class person, whatever name you want to give, you can write it over here, and accordingly you need to write it in the output also. Let me scroll down up to class person. In the class student, inherit person. In the class fees, you need to inherit student. Let me scroll down again. Let me scroll down up to void main. No need to create object of these two classes, as we know that first of all it will call the constructor of grandfather class, then it will call constructor of father class, and at last it will call the constructor of child class. Again, this is the definition which you need to perform using multi-level inheritance. Book, book price and author, these three classes you need to create, and one more method display which you need to put inside book author class, inside calculate class and inside employee detail class. So these three are the definitions you need to write in the journal also. So don't ask me personally that how many total programs are related with the inheritance, right? Whatever the definitions I am going to give from the videos, that you need to write in the journal. So number of programs may be different, but I am going to teach you two programs which is based on the individual ones. Thank you all.